This clip of Lauren Boebert made me so upset. Of course, Lauren Boebert being the wacky and wild Republican congresswoman from Colorado, as I think she's described commonly. And she sat down with Benny Johnson, who is sort of one of the worst, most dishonest right-wing media figures. And watch how she's so, what she says is a suggestion that would be so catastrophic for the world, so detrimental, calamitous, pick the word. But what makes it worse that she goes here is that she does it so casually. And we're seeing this with Elon too. They'll go into full catastrophe mode in the most casual manner, which is extra infuriating. So here's what I'm talking about. It's the suggestion that we should get out of NATO as the United States.
I don't know. I'd love to hear him say we're withdrawing from NATO. Maybe he'll say we're abolishing the TSA. That would be pretty cool.
The IRS.
The IRS.
Can we make a list?
make a list of everything that'll be gone. No, I think we're going to hear a lot of the great victories that are.
Welcome to the second channel. We have a lot more clips to look at. If you appreciate this channel, you can click the subscribe button, and then my main channel is linked in the description below. But again, I've been saying this regularly on the show, which is that they seem to live in this bubble that was produced. Much of the America we know is produced because of a world order, you could call it, that is, in a sense, delicately held together. One of the things that allows for that is international organizations, and then the most powerful military defense alliance in the history of the world, NATO. The stability that we've been able to facilitate because of that globally, that benefits us economically. We then economically intertwine with a lot of countries. The trade we benefit from, and the loss of life is minimized because of regimes not being able to just take over. Might no longer makes right because of organizations like NATO. And they just casually, you heard it was a laughing, which again, to me, makes it worse that she's saying it that way. If you're going to suggest such a thing, like, let's just let weaker countries get taken over now. Let's not uphold one of the mechanisms that makes the United States the world's sole superpower. Let's not do any of that. And let's enable Russia to invade whatever countries they'd please and go for the former Soviet Union states, etc., as we're seeing them do in Ukraine. If you were to suggest such a thing, you'd think you would do it with a level of heavy-heartedness that it calls for. But instead, she suggests something so destructive, so disastrous, in a hee type of way, which is kind of the MAGA story, right? Calamity in a cartoonish way. Cartoonish calamity is the story of the MAGA Republican Party. Okay, moving on from that headline moment, just some other less significant things. Here's her saying this.
I even hear folks, they're like, what? Some stuff was cut. It might hurt us for a little bit. Tariffs may hurt us for a little bit, but it's so worth it. And of course, we're going to have the media saying, oh, they're gutting Medicaid, they're gutting Medicare, all this. There's going to be those lies. We want to get rid of $567 million of improper payments. How about? We want to get illegals off of those rolls. We want to get dead people off those rolls. People who are older than our country shouldn't be getting Social Security, right?
What was this laugh? Just watch here.
How about? We want to get illegals off of those rolls. We want to get dead people off those rolls. People who are older than our country shouldn't be getting Social Security, right? So we're going to...
Yeah, so they're not. So that's easy. Ready? And they're not. Oh, wait, sorry. Let me answer. They're not. That's the whole answer. Is that simple enough, Lauren? I don't know how I forgot to address in the first clip, by the way, that she said, let's get rid of Benny, one of them suggested, let's get rid of the IRS. Who's gonna get our taxes from us then? And this is what is so infuriating. They get away with seeming like we are pro-working class because the IRS for too long has made hard-working middle-class MAGA's lives so difficult, and so we're going to gut the IRS on your behalf. And then you look at who's benefiting from that, and the most amount of money that these enhanced or the extra staff that the Biden administration was able to sign into law, and the extra resources, the money was being taken from the wealthiest who were tax cheats. So people who already have a bunch of money and are breaking the law, yeah, maybe we get the money from them. Maybe we get the money that they're owed. And then we can fund programs, and then we could support people. They always talk about, why are we sending money to Ukraine when we have homeless people? Well, we should support both, but y'all are the ones who are saying we shouldn't actually invest in the programs necessary to help people, uplift people. And one of the ways we can have more money to do that is to properly go after wealthy tax cheats. And so they'll gut these programs, and because it's simpler to audit less wealthy people because they have less complicated finances, maybe those still feel the burden, but the wealthiest among us, who we need the extra employees, who we need the extra resources to go after, those are the ones who now save money by cheating on their taxes. But they just casually throw out, what if we got rid of the IRS? You're a congresswoman. This is not two baked brothers in the back of a pickup truck when they're 13 talking about taxes for the first time. This is a United States congresswoman. Please. Lauren. I do like the dress, though.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see how many Democrats President Trump has on his investigation list. Maybe he'll call them out tonight. But yeah, I actually had a beautiful hot pink dress I was going to wear tonight. Mom was steaming it for me. And then I found out all the Democrats are wearing pink. So I was like, well, I guess we're going to red.
Okay. All right. Yeah, red's a good color. Red's a great color. Okay.
Red's a good color. Red's a good color. Sorry, I'm in a unique mood right now. Again, there's a lot that I dislike about her, but her style is absolutely fine. Then this.
Back from
well, I think he's certainly going to talk about Zelensky and just how he owned him. I mean, Zelensky came in and tried to bow up to the president. And thank God, not only that we have President Trump, but Vice President J.D. Vance. Did you ever see Mike Pence stand up for the president like that? Absolutely not.
No.
He sat back silent and said nothing. And President Trump had to, put everyone else in their place. And so I think he'll talk about the uranium deal, the minerals deal, with Ukraine, and see.
Something about her whole vibe is so, again, cartoonish catastrophe. She really does seem like somebody who, the person you met in college, freshman year, and they're majoring. I've majored in political science, so I'm with people who are, some of them getting a little confident about their political science abilities, and so they start speaking, and it's like, are you still drunk from what is this? What is going on with you? Are you still drunk from last night? This is crazy. When you hear their takes, a lot of her takes are similar. Sort of that freshman person you met who you're concerned had too many mimosas before Poli-Sci 101. I do love a good mimosa, though. I'm not judging mimosa drinkers, just to be clear. What did she even say there, Jaden? What she was talking about? Oh, yeah. Zelensky didn't bow up to Trump. And Trump, think about speaking in YouTube titles when you're talking about a president having a disastrous exchange with the president defending his country while being invaded. Imagine going, Trump owned him, which is what she said. This is not a YouTube title. Liberal owns his producer. I don't know. Liberal owns MAGA producer. Just kidding, Jay's not MAGA, but you get the point. Those sorts of titles. That's not how you should speak about Zelensky being shouted at by the U.S. president for no reason. Ridiculous.
The silver lining, the 2020 election was stolen, and maybe thank God, because we wouldn't have the Trump that we have today. We wouldn't have the J.D. Vance we have today. We wouldn't have the cabinet members we have today. We wouldn't have the Senate majority we have today. And so there's so
And you also want to have the economy that you have today, but okay. See, that's what's so interesting. I think they actually believe that. I think not the stolen election. She doesn't believe that for a second, for a moment, for a blip in time. Let's put it this way. A person who goes to Beetlejuice and gets funky with a liberal boyfriend doesn't believe the election was stolen. But I do think they're actually grateful that Biden won. Because whatever disaster Trump's about to bring on us, at least they have the benefit of a more stable situation to start with, right? So if Trump had gotten 4 more years, do you remember him trying to handle COVID at the end there? Luckily, he got out, got pushed out by the American people, and Biden came in and adults came back into the room, and there was a much more well-handled recovery. So then whatever damage Trump can do, it will be minimized in part by the fact that he was handed something stable. But if he had in his hands for 4 more years, the unstable situation that he left, that would have been, I don't know how many people would have died of COVID. I don't know how many years it would have taken to get to where we are now economically. And so I do think in a sense she's grateful that he lost. Because otherwise, there would be no defending him. There is still no defending him. I don't know why she does, but we'll see. I think after 4 years, it's going to be really difficult for even hardcore MAGA people to defend him based on what he's doing. Share your thoughts in the comments. A reminder, we're building up a second channel just for the fun, extra after hours content, whatever the heck that means. So support that there. Description is the main channel. If you're a new viewer and you don't know who I am, my main stuff there is there. And have a wonderful rest of your day.